Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another week of action here on the SWC Moonlight Cup Series on Wednesday nights. Week 3 here at Phoenix for the Phoenix 120. Smoking Joe up here in the booth with Buddy the Professor. Buddy, are you ready for some more Gen 6 action this week on the west side of the country?
I'm definitely looking forward to Phoenix. It's a pretty technical track. Can have its little dog leg that you can cut, which can be a little bit risky. It doesn't look like we're going to have the same spark show that we had last week, though. Vegas was definitely sparky in the corners.
Yeah, plenty of fireworks on the track with the cars and off the track with the drivers as well. Saw some wild results out there. Not only with the cars sparking everywhere, but with the drivers having some sparks with each other as well. We saw last week's winner, Kyle Lynott, get it done there late, and it seemed like there was some interesting words said post-race between a couple of drivers there, buddy.
Oh, yeah, there's some excitement. Netcode has given these guys some problems the last 2 weeks. So hopefully, by any amount of luck, we can dodge a little bit of the netcode issue tonight, but I have my doubts.
Yeah, with short track racing on the horizon for tonight, we all know how close it can get with this kind of style of racing. And we've seen what can happen at a bigger track, such as Las Vegas last week, where there was so much netcode within even just 6 feet between each other, which is pretty large considering what you usually see these cars be able to do getting close to each other in the past. So we're going to be on the lookout for that tonight. Guys still out there running practice. So we got our race report up here for tonight. Tonight we got a 120 lap feature. That stage is going to be at the end of lap 60. So right at halfway for tonight. Remember, no caution for that. We are over 20 drivers. We're 23. So that means top 10 will get stage points for tonight. So we got some interesting strategies that should be playing out here tonight, buddy, because I'm gonna tell you what, I know tire wear is on these drivers' mind.
Oh, yeah, running 100% fuel is something a lot of drivers aren't accustomed to, so their fuel mileage is a lot different than a lot of the series that we run in where we're on limited fuel. So tire conservation is definitely going to have to be in each one of these drivers' mind.
Yep, I'm looking at a few of the drivers up towards the top of the practice boards being usually good drivers at saving tires at tracks like this. Looking at Zach Panzarella at the top of the board coming off his win last season in the Moonlight DDI Truck Series here at Phoenix. Right behind him, Patrick Calgill led a lot of laps. He's second fastest currently in practice. Also up there you see Ken Redinger in fourth, another driver that ran really well, led a lot of laps, got caught up in some mayhem at the end of the race last season in the truck series, but had so much speed, led a lot of laps. So those three are the guys I'm really looking out for at the top of that leaderboard. The other guy up there that was third currently in practice, there was some interesting stuff that was handed down by admins last week on the stewards report. I don't know if you saw that there, buddy, but last week, Michael Mata was given a 2-race probation and a no qualifying penalty due to, if we look at the summary of the race, due to impeding lead lap traffic resulting in contact while one or more laps down and off pace. So that was something very interesting. There's actually 2 separate incidents noted of that throughout the race. So Mata's not going to be able to.
No, it's not on the recap.
No, not enough space to put this. I'll tell you what, this is a very sophisticated and detailed incident review. So I will tell you.
There's a lot.
So I will tell you that there's 2 instances where I see that ruled on here. So that's why Michael Mata will not be allowed to qualify. He did appeal that, however, he lost that appeal. So no qualifying for Mata. The other penalty handed out was to Patrick Calgill. Just touched on him being second in practice. He was given a 2-lap penalty post-race onto his race time last week at Las Vegas due to not serving a meatball flag at the end of the race. So That should sort all that stuff out from last week. There was a lot of chaos though,
Yeah.
beyond just that on the track, and you can see it's really shaking up those point standings. Ken Runger has had 2 really good weeks to start the season. 1 week, one in a photo finish, had a great run last week at Vegas. Kyle Lynott with that dub was able to move up to 2nd in the points, but still 23 points behind Ken. Jay Stinson falls to 3rd. He's 27 points back. And you can see on back through the field, the biggest mover last week was Brandon Wybera, goes from 21st to 9th in the points, plus 12. Great job by him getting that 3rd place finish last week, buddy.
Yeah, there's some guys in the field tonight that missed last week, I think. There's some names in here that I don't recognize, and we do have a new driver as well starting tonight, and that is Michael Wolf.
Michael Wolf made his debut in the Monday Mayhem Cup Series 2 weeks ago in MRL. He's got 2 starts in his books over in that series already. Gonna make his debut here tonight in the Moonlight Cup Series in the Gen 6 cars. We've got 4 minutes left in practice here. You can see the boys going around, getting their times in under the lights, taking a look at those track conditions, but it looks like track's pretty cool right now considering how hot it is for this late into the night. 90 degree track temp right there, but you can see that weather, 89 degrees in the air, so it's a hot one out there. I think these drivers are going to be grateful that we're racing in the middle of the night and not in the daylight, or else this track temp might set their cars on fire.
Oh yeah, a mixture between dry air out in the desert, track temp, air temp, and I did see sparks off of Ken Redinger's car on that one corner. I do believe it was 1 and 2 that he was in. I saw all kinds of sparks flying out from underneath his car.
Oh yeah, these cars definitely bottoming out. If you go across that apron, you can see it there on the front stretch. That, oh yeah, there you go, into turn 1 as well for Ken. Ken deciding not to cut the dog leg there, going across that dog leg. That's where you're going to see your spark show tonight. Right now you see boys still running practice laps. Steve Lewis out there, he's run 81 practice laps, one of the guys that's run the most out there to this point. Currently 6th on the board, and I wanted to give him a shout out to toot my own horn because I made that paint scheme for him. So it's cool to see him driving that paint scheme. I know we had to get that one re-uploaded for him. So
That's
Louis
Steve
out
Lewis.
there doing.
He had a really strong race last week too, when we were at Vegas, and he just got caught up in some shenanigans on the outside with nowhere to go, and kind of had his race fall apart from that. But most of the beginning of that race, he was up front with everyone, so he's definitely having a strong showing at Vegas.
Steve Lewis going to try and build on that momentum here tonight, along with a lot of the other drivers as we start getting ready for qualifying here, buddy. I think it's a good time to go down trackside for the festivities. Beautiful flyover once again this week to start our race tonight. Couple seconds left here in practice. Looks like everybody on the track has put down a lap time, so all 23 drivers have run at least some sort of lap as Kyle Lynott does something. He goes in honor of Jax Duvall, absolutely destroys his race car as the session ends. And they'll have to roll out the backup for qualifying. And looking at where he is in the practice charts, I think he probably would want the backup car, considering he was only 17th there in practice. So got a lot of work ahead of him. I'm looking at a couple drivers making their return here tonight. Alex Hillman, he's out there for the first time in a long time. Cool to see him back out there. We'll see if he goes out and puts down a quali lap or not. Usually very fast in one lap pace. Looking at some other drivers. Of course, Michael Wolf is somebody new to the series, so cool to see him out there. Zach Panzarello, top of the charts, back from all of the stuff going on with him to be able to race tonight as well. So cool to see him out there with us. There's Michael Wolf.
Oh yeah, I'm going to switch to Patrick Cowgill because we got some eye candy to show right quick why he's in the middle of qualifying. Let's see how hard he's concentrating here on his qualifying attempt. He has his game face on.
Great camera view. Great work from you, Buddy, with the Cowgirls behind the scenes to get this up and running for tonight's broadcast right here. Patrick, you can see him going through 3 and 4, really yanking on that wheel hard because it's very difficult to get your way through 3 and 4. Very tight setup here, and you can see Patrick puts down a 26.4 on his first lap. Very, very good right there. About a 10th and a half clear of everybody else on his first lap. Christopher Cowgill is also out there on track. I think you might have a chance to highlight his camera here as well.
I think this might be his second lap. Oh, man, right up against the wall.
Calm, cool, and collected, too. He's just like, well, it got tight, whatever.
It is what it is.
That's such a good attitude going into this race. Chris had a good run here, I believe, last season in the trucks as well. Got a top 10 out of it. Looking to have a good run here tonight as well. Qualifying isn't really very indicative of your speed here. Having good one-lap pace here is one thing, but you really want to be focusing on that long run. And I do think a lot of these guys are trying to dial in those long run times.
Zach's all the way down there on the apron. Oh,
well, I think practicing pitting.
I thought he was trying to do that for his lap time. Here's a case of beer.
I don't think the Corey Haim line works for speed purposes around here.
I think I might have missed a lot
Jonathan
of these guys.
Casebeer might try and prove me wrong. Okay, they're just all going into the pits. You see Graham McGivern out there. A lot of drivers out there putting down lap times. Kyle Lynott out there. He's currently 12th on the board with a 27 flat. Patrick Cowgill is 26.4, still holding up at this point. Ken Redinger's coming across the line right now, and he goes to the top of the board with a 26.399 right there. So your new pole sitter currently is going to be Ken Redinger in that 42 Grandstand Racing Chevrolet, going for back-to-back poles. See Matt Novella coming across the line. Looks like he's going to stay P5 there with a 26.6 for his lap time. Looking around, seeing who else is still going. Looks like Tom Lester had trouble on his second lap. Brandon Lawless, you can see him out there running some laps. Stinson gets loose. Parham moves up to third. He runs a 26.4, and that will move him to third just behind Patrick Cowgill. Let's see who's still out there. Steve Lewis out there running his second lap right now. And that's a 26.9. That'll move him to 14th on the boards, actually 15th, because at the same time, Danny Sanchez goes to 6th on the boards with a 26.5. It's hard-hitting qualifying here as we're watching everybody put down their lap times. Still a couple guys we're waiting to see go out. Looks like Jay Stinson's not going to get a lap time in based on what I'm seeing on the boards.
Looks like he's just sitting there.
I think that spin happened going from first to the second lap. So that's a really tough break. So invalidated the first lap, and then the second lap you start in the inside wall. So Stinson's going to have his work cut out for him. Looks like he's going to start 19th. And it looks like nobody else is going to go out and qualify here. So
No, wrap up.
Looks like it's safe to say Ken Redinger going to go back-to-back poles.
Get a little peep here before we do our grid. And those are the drivers that you kind of are used to seeing in the front, especially between Redinger, Calgill, Parham, Panzarella, Matthews, Sanchez, Novella. Lynott is someone that I am going to have my eye on. After his win last week during the post-race interview, he talked about being pretty comfortable with Phoenix. And talking about how Phoenix really isn't a qualifying track or whatever. Had to look for that long run as we are gridding up, it looks like.
23 drivers about getting ready to grid up for tonight's main event here at Phoenix. Looking down the grid, you got your pole sitter for back-to-back weeks going to be Ken Redinger. Patrick Calgill going to start alongside him there on row number 1. Behind them, you can see Justin Parham puts down a good enough time to be starting in 3rd place alongside Zach Panzarella in his return tonight, going to start in 4th. Row 3, you got Cody Matthews starting alongside Danny Sanchez. 2 Chevys there on row number 3. Row 4, we got Matt Novella on the inside, Dalton Geyer on the outside. 2 veterans of the series looking to get their series off to a good start tonight. Brandon Lawless, Matthew Fritz going to be sharing row number 5 here tonight. That's Backpack Racing there on the inside, and then you got Grandstand on the outside. Row 6, you got Michael Mata, who did not adhere to his qualifying rules, and Michael Wolf in his first start going to start in 12th. Behind them in row number 7, Kyle Lynott, last week's winner, going to start from 13th alongside the Intimidente 73 of Jonathan Casabir. Row number 8 behind them, you got Steve Lewis in the beautiful paint scheme I made for him, starting alongside Jordan Finnegan in the 78 Chevy. Interested to see how he'll do tonight. Then you got one of our boys with the cameras, Chris Calgill, going to start alongside Graham McGivern in the 33. Behind them, you got your guys not putting down lap times. Jay Stinson going to start 19th alongside Glenn Grigsby. Behind them in row 11, you got Zach Hillman, Tom Lester, and then rounding out the field tonight is going to be Alex Hillman in 23rd. And it looks like everybody gridded up right there. I don't see Alex Hillman gridded up, though.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Alex Hillman gridded up.
That's an unfortunate break. So it looks like for the 3rd straight week, we got a Grandstand Racing 1-3, I believe, here in qualifying right here. It was Parham, Redinger 1-3 week 1, and then it was Redinger Parham last week, Redinger Parham again this week. And then Calgill, I think, is qualified 2nd pretty much all 3 weeks as well. So pretty similar start to the field. They come into the restart zone and away they go for tonight's race. We're underway here at Phoenix, and Ken Redinger gets off to a good start. Going to cut that apron a lot down towards turn number 1. But look at the run that Calgill has on the outside. Patrick going to try and take the lead here on lap number 1. The momentum, there's wrecking. Big wreck on back. Zach Panzarella's around. The 20 car's in it. The 73 T-Bones, the 12. 36 is around. A bunch of cars wrecked down in turn number 1. It looked like it started with the 12 may have gotten turned or got loose.
No.
Oh, and they're wrecking further up. What happened there? Patrick Calgill's around and gets T-boned.
Let's see what happened here. So pre-race, I was wanting to talk about this, how everyone fans out coming into 1 and they come back together. I wonder if netcode is going to be an issue here with iRacing detecting cars being closer than what they actually are. Oh, it looks like someone got loose up there. The 03 into the 77 or 73.
This wreck started way further up than this.
Okay.
It started way up with Zach Panzarella is where it began.
Panzarella, where are you?
I was
way.
watching the main feed, and then I looked down and the 12 car sideways in turn 1, and I'm like, oh my God.
Uh-oh. It looks like someone came up and got him.
Matthews to his inside.
Yeah, it just pushes up. Oh, a lot of those guys didn't have anywhere to go. And now I don't know what happened to Calgill here.
Yeah, Patrick's car was completely messed up after this hit, by the way.
just got loose, it looks like, on the exit
Yeah,
there.
Starts coming around on him. Oh.
Don't look like it was too... I think he gets hit again right somewhere here.
Oh.
Yeah, right there.
Oh.
So that's what happened to... I don't know if anyone... Doesn't look like anyone pit. There is some people in the pits, but that's because of damage. Dalton Geyer involved in that. He has a meatball flag.
Looks like we're on 1 to green here. Still got Lester, Casabir, Wolf, Patrick Cowgill, and Dalton Geyer still all in the pits. I will say I saw the 31 car was pretty much crab walking around the track after the T-bone hit under caution. So probably a lot of damage there as well. Looks like Casabir, Wolf back out there a lap down. Looks like the same going to be for, or actually Lester might still be in the lead lap. We'll have to wait and see how this all gets scored. Looks like it's a bit of chaos as we get ready to go back racing here. After our first caution of the night, we're going to go green here to start lap number 5 of our 120 lap feature. I don't think we're lined up at all.
No,
I wouldn't be shocked if we wave off this restart here. Survey says,
not going.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out of line back here trying to get everything sorted out.
Yeah, now it's all about what are we doing with the pace car? Okay, well, all right, iRacing, what are we doing here?
Everyone come to a red flag stop here and let the pace car by, or let the pace car just drive right through them.
This is incredible stuff. As the pace car lollygags its way to the front of the field again, and is going to make the left-hand turn immediately after lollygagging. I think this time we're better lined up. It's going to be Ken Redinger to the inside of Danny Sanchez on the front row, and then behind them you see Matt Novella, Brandon Lawless, Kyle Lynott, Matthew Fritz, Steve Lewis, Jay Stinson up to 8th already, Christopher Cowgill, Zach Hillman rounding out that top 10. Here we go into the restart zone once again to get going for the first restart of the night, and we're off once again. Ken Redinger with a great restart this time, gets away by a mile, it feels like, right there on everybody.
No, they're wrecking.
And they're wrecking again. Christopher Cowgill's around, backs it into the wall on the inside, and he's doing many donuts. No caution. That's going to be a tough break for him. Back up front, you see Ken Redinger under attack already again from Danny Sanchez.
That's going to be a caution.
And that's going to be a huge wreck in turn number 3. It's going to be half the field. It's going to be the whole field.
Oh, I see Steve Lewis up there stuck on the wall.
This is a great, you know what, buddy? You know what? I think this would be a great time for me to listen into the chat and see what's going on. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what's going on.
Let me go back here, and we know it was netcode. We saw it live, so it's going to be right here on the entry. They're
not even close to each other.
No, and then that just causes a chain reaction. You're full speed down that backstretch going into 3. There's not a whole lot of time to react. Shorter track, stuff comes quick and happens quick. We do have some people in the pits, though, so let's see what's going on here.
It doesn't surprise me that there's people in the pits, considering what we just saw on the track. Yeah, that car's really destroyed. Let's see.
Quite a few.
Oh my. Novella's car probably looks the best out of the ones that we've seen on screen so far. Well, Chris's car doesn't look too bad from afar.
No, it's just kind of a little bit of a ding on the inside wall that he had, but that caution coming out right whenever it did kind of saved him a little bit from having his little self-spin or whatever didn't have that caution associated with it, so that would have hurt him pretty bad had he not had that caution come around.
His car doesn't look too bad, but I do believe he just went a lap down. along with a lot of other guys going a lap down here as well. Sitting in the pits, looking at Lawless going a lap down. Looks like Novella is going a lap down.
All those damage repairs.
Yeah. Got Michael Wolf coming down to get some repairs. Danny Sanchez is rolling back out on the track. His car looks pretty good. Doesn't look too worse for wear. Let's see who else. Who else has got some damage? Parham looks pretty solid. Who else is out there? Chase Stinson's left front looks pretty worse off, but it could be worse. Back up front though, we're getting ready to go back racing. We got cars with damage up front here too. It looks like Zach Hillman on the outside. That left front messed up on that car, so that's going to be interesting for this one as we get ready to go. Green Ken Redinger still the control car, still leading that race here as we get ready to go into the restart zone for another restart. And we're off, and Ken Redinger catches them all napping once again, gets away by a mile again, and now Michael Mata attacking the 3 for second. It looks like Hillman's going to try and settle into third there. You can see Zach Panzarella a little further back going underneath the 78 of Jordan Finnegan. See Glenn Grigsby's worked his way up into 7th through all this chaos. Good run for him here early on as they're going side by side for that spot.
Oh, 73. I think that was a 73. No, the 78. Finnegan kind of got into the back of the 33 of McGivern there, giving him a little boop. I think some of these guys might be getting used to each other's brake zones. We did see, I did see Zach Hillman was able to work around the inside of Michael Mata to take over second position whenever all that other stuff was happening with Finnegan, McGivern, and those guys that was further on back. Zach Hillman up 19 positions right now.
Zach Hillman touched on him on that restart. He had a lot of left front damage there, I noticed, coming into the restart zone. But it looks like oh no, Steve Lewis hard into the inside wall, and he's really destroyed the left side of that car.
Oh man,
I think he got loose going across the transition on the front stretch going across the dog leg. Lots of damage to the 88 there.
Oh yeah,
as you can see him limping around.
And that's an unfortunate thing for Lewis because that's not going to draw a caution.
No caution for the Steve Lewis incident. Ken Redinger continues to lead over Zach Hillman, who has some noticeable damage to his car, but not letting it affect him. He's actually closing in a bit on Ken Redinger right here. He probably doesn't even realize he has left front damage with the way he's driving right now.
No, probably not. It might be. So I don't know if these guys are dealing with the tight car or a loose car, but sometimes that damage, you don't want too much damage, but sometimes a little bit of damage can kind of help the handling of the car, let you be a little bit more aggressive on the throttle. Sometimes, but it looks like both of them got tight right there, as Hillman and Redinger both got the outside wall.
It's like that time Kurt Busch pancaked his car in the All-Star race and went on to win because he pancaked the side of the car, made it drive 0.3 of a second faster after he did that. Got some interesting sculpting going on out there from the drivers tonight, maybe. You got some tight racing going on in the back half of the top 10. You can see there, you got the 31 of Calgill. Looks like Calgill is 5 laps down, though. Patrick, that is, in 19th. You can see Christopher Calgill.
Yeah.
He's going good up there as well. He's 1 lap down in 16th. So a lot of different strategies really going on and guys trying to fight back into this race. Christopher's trying to catch Quesabir right now for the lucky dog spot. Michael Wolf right now being scored as the last car in the lead lap. He's about 2/3 to 3/4 of a lap down right now, 18 seconds behind the leader. I don't think he got fully caught up to the field on the restart. So Michael Wolf would love to see another caution here to get caught back up. Currently, we're on lap number 17 here, so we're getting pretty far into a run.
Yeah, the thing with Michael Wolf, it looks like he wasn't able to get all the damage that he had fixed. You can see the front splitter a little bit, a little bit damaged there on the nose, and who knows what else might be damaged on that car. So he's probably just trying to limp it around for another caution, come back in and get some more repairs done. These guys don't have a fast repair or anything like that to use since we're not on a super speedway. So unfortunately, we have 3 weeks in a row now that we've seen Netcode kind of dish out some race altering situations for some of these guys, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, it is. I was watching Jordan Finnegan there as well, buddy. He got into the back end of Parham and on the last lap, and that cost him a bunch of time. He fell back into this group here, gets passed by Graham McGivern, going to get passed by Matthew Fritz, it looks like, as well to the inside. That's going to move him back to 10th. You can see Glenn Grigsby right there falling back as well. Jonathan Casabier and Christopher Calgill in between these guys right now. They're battling for the lucky dog spot. That's a very heated contest right now. They want to make sure they're the first one there, but don't battle too hard, boys, or you're gonna end up being the cause of that caution and give it over to Novella.
This is one of those situations where you get in front and kind of have that lucky dog. Oh, I just heard someone blow up. I don't know who it was, but someone definitely, I heard but what I was saying is once you get ahead of these, like you're in the lucky dog spot, that's where you kind of want to caution, but you don't want to be the caution. And I think everything's kind of calmed down and collected. It looks like it might have been Jay Stinson. We'll go back and...
Jay Stinson was running. He got it back going again. He was on the lead lap. Jay Stinson, don't see him running anymore. He was got it back on the lead lap. He was limping around there with the damage. So I thought he was fine, but I guess it was damage in a weird spot. Around. Oh, okay. Well, that would create it. No caution for that right there either. We're still green. Ken Renninger pulling away from Zach Hillman. I think the reality of that car's condition has started to set in as he's fallen back into the clutches of Danny Sanchez. And you can see that car is just not turning at all, buddy.
Nope, that little bit of damage is probably not helping those front tires any. Using a little bit more tire than you want to in the corner. And a lot of these guys running up front, we do have, like Danny Sanchez last pit on lap 7. A lot of these guys, Parham last pit on lap 7, Fritz. So we do have quite a few that have pit. Probably didn't take tires, just getting damaged. Looks like Tom Lester pit back on 8 for a fuel-only stop. But in the pre-race, we were talking about these cars being 100% fuel. And that tire wear over that long of a fuel run that some of these guys might not be accustomed to might also be showing its face and hampering things a little bit, on top of trying to run around with damage that you're not aware that you might have.
Yeah, I will say from my personal experience in the B-class car, in the O'Reilly car, that having more fuel in it makes the car more stable. Which in the case of that car helps because that car is more naturally loose than something like the setup that we have here with the Gen 6 car for tonight. So having as the fuel load burns off, we may see cars get a little bit more squirrely. But right now, man, that battle for the lucky dog is still absolutely insane. They're side by side.
Right.
They're in the wall. They're doing everything they can to make this as interesting as possible. Right behind Graham McGivern, who's having a good run so far up there in 9th. But they're almost 3 wide with Graham, who's on the lead lap. Graham's like, please don't. Please. Please, if you're going to go battle for the lucky dog, be away from me.
That's a tough spot to be in, too, because you got Case of Beer, Calgill, Novella's lurking back there with these two, and then you're in the mix with some lead lap cars.
Oh,
or maybe some cars that's right above or just one more lap down than you are or whatever. But there's a whole gaggle of cars that are on different laps back here with Calgill and Case of Beer.
You can see right there, actually, Graham got in the wall. I was going to lose a couple spots here as well out of that mess. And they're still side by side for this lucky dog battle. This is insane. Best battle on the track is for the lucky dog currently. Jonathan Casabier, Christopher Calgill have pretty much been side by side since the drop of the green flag from the last restart. And it looks like Christopher is going to finally clear him. So Chris Calgill in 14th place has the lucky dog spot, but not so fast because Michael Wolf is directly in front of the leaders right now, buddy. If you go take a look at him, you're going to see there's Michael Wolf and there's Ken Redinger. So with whatever damage is still on that 20 car, I do believe that Ken's going to lap him in the next couple laps here.
Yeah, coming to lap 30 here. We're basically halfway to the stage. Aside from that battle for the Lucky Dog, it seems like the track is pretty much, everyone kind of calmed down on the track, running single file. Zach Panzarella able to catch up to Zach Hillman a little bit. That damage on Hillman is just, the longer he goes, I think the handling on that car is going away, and he's just slowly dropping back. Not necessarily dropping back like a rock, but dropping back enough to hold on to it.
No. Hillman's around off the nose of Zach Panzarella, and I don't know who got the lucky dog because they were side by side. I don't know who it's scoring in front of who.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to wait until they settle out.
Sounds like Jonathan Casebeer was in front of Christopher there. Those two talking over the radio about how much fun they had battling for that lucky dog spot just now, actually. And man, what a great job by Casebeer to hold on through all that.
Yeah, that was a good battle there for the lucky dog. I do think everyone's going to come down and pit here.
Oh yeah, we're what, about 35 laps into this race here. It's time. 25
lap shootout to the stage, give or take, something along those lines. Whenever it goes back green.
Yeah, this should open it up to be a one-stopper from here as well. So everybody's going to be able to make it to the stage. Should be a one-stopper from here as well. Should make this race very straightforward for everybody to the finish on whatever going to take tires here, and then going to take tires probably one more time. Should leave a set in the pits in case of a caution at some point in between. So third caution of the night, you can see 4 tires and fuel for your leader, Ken Redinger. He's going to leave pit road first. As there he goes.
Yeah.
And there it goes. And it looks like Danny Sanchez is going to come out in second. Justin Parham third. You got Christopher Cowgill. What a pit stop there for him. Fuel only. I think he was trying to maybe jump the leaders. Not going to get it done, though. So no wave around for Chris here. Cody Matthews is out on track. He took what he needed to. Finnegan takes fuel only, so he's going to jump a lot. I think that's what you're about to allude to.
Yeah, Finnegan was another one that took fuel only, so he was able to jump up quite a few spots. Now they're just going to have to be a little bit cautious with the difference in tire strategy going on and the net code with the car and the whatever you want to call it, where you got to be a little bit cautious, a little bit wary around people, stuff like that, because you definitely don't want to accidentally misjudge something because you're on pressure tires and someone else and accidentally run over them with as sensitive as this car is.
Exactly. We saw Cody Matthews have trouble there on the initial start where he had trouble getting on the brakes and it slipped up into Zach Panzarella. So very easy to have those kind of troubles on fresh tires, it seems like. So that's another layer to add to this restart. Ken Redinger continues to retain the lead for another restart here. Going to be his 4th one as the leader of the race. We get ready to come into the restart zone and get going once again. Ken gets going, and a great restart once again from Redinger right there. And it looks like he's going to bring Justin Parham along with him right here. Parham going to take over second place from Sanchez on the restart. They're 3 wide further back. Looks like Mata thought better of it, backed out of it. You can see them now side by side in the middle of the field. It looks like Kyle Lanaud's pulling off. He's many laps down. You can see a lot of chaos throughout the field. And you can see in the middle of the field, you see Panzarella trying to work the outside of Lester. You got Finnegan backing up. There's contact in front of him. They're going 3 wide again. Everybody stays clean somehow, even with all the netcode issues. So no, thank goodness, no netcode right there. But Zach Panzarella lost a bunch of starts on that restart, buddy.
Yeah, this is one of the things I was worried about with that tire difference. We saw Finnegan be one of those guys that just took fuel only, and now it did not take very long for some of these guys with 4 fresh tires and everything to kind of, oh, I don't even know the word that I'm looking for, take advantage of that. But whenever you have a car falling back that fast, that's what kind of creates that situation where it's really easy to misjudge closing distance.
We got a 3 wide battle if you see that, and it's going to be for the lucky dog again. Jonathan Casabir took 4 tires and fell a lap back down under caution. So the lucky dog battle 2.0 here is going on between Jonathan Casabir and Christopher Calgill here. Then they're going to be side by side for the lucky dog once again. It looks like Matt Novella did take the wave around, so he's back on the lead lap. He's currently in 13th, just in front of Zach Hillman, who got his car fixed up. There you go. You can see Christopher Calgill trying to chase down Jonathan Casabir for the lucky dog. Once again, it's a Groundhog Day right now for the driver of the 03.
Maybe,
and you can see...
maybe they just had so much fun doing it before that they just wanted a second round of it.
I mean, you never know. You never know. You can see Hillman looks like he's got a lot of speed back in that car there, buddy. Trying to work his way underneath the 20 of Wolf right there for 12th. Not able to get it done, but it does look... Oh, now he's going to get it done, actually, as the 20 slips up coming off the corner. And there goes Hillman on around for P12. So his car looks like it's running a lot better than it was earlier. Back up front, Ken Redinger currently leading still over Danny Sanchez, but Danny's applying some pressure to him right now.
Yeah, Danny's kind of right there on the back bumper. Ken Redinger's one that he doesn't make that many mistakes when we're talking about asphalt ovals. Sanchez gets a little bit tight in the middle of 1 and 2. Redinger's going to be able to pull away from that, as Sanchez had to overcome getting tight. Michael Mata to the inside of Zach Panzarella getting tight as well, right up to the door. Zach off the wall. They almost door each other. Everyone keeps it clean though. Panzarella diving way low on the inside of Michael Mata, going to slide job him out of 2. Mata should be able to cross over and get the inside here into 3 if they don't net code into each other.
Same scenario as last lap here. Let's see if they can keep it out of the wall this time. It looks like they will. But Mata, yeah, you can see Mata really cutting that dog leg there, buddy. Do you think that's an advantage or a disadvantage? Well, in this case, it looks like it was a disadvantage. So I don't know if maybe that's telling the story with the setup here tonight or not.
Yeah, I don't know. Cutting that, I know most times you kind of want to use that dog leg to your advantage, but in that, or what we just saw happen right there, Panzarella, those 2 cars, Panzarella and whoever it was behind him, staying up on the regular racing surface, not necessarily cutting the dog leg. They were able to carry a whole lot more momentum going into 1 than Mata was, diving all the way down there, running the inside walls. Ken Redinger making his way around. Who was that he was making his way around?
Dalton Geyer, the 36. That car very destroyed right now. In 14 laps down in 19th spot is where Dalton Geyer sits currently, as he's just trying to log some laps, work his way up through the field of more guys drop out of the race. Right now, I believe he's the last car running on track. No, actually, the last car running on track is... Actually, looks like Jay Stinson might be back out there potentially, or is that Brandon Wallace? Trying to figure out.
Wallace is in the pit. Kyle Lanot is way back there. Jay Stinson's not on the track.
Maybe my data's... Yeah, my data must be doing some weird stuff here. So that must be Kyle Lanot then that is showing out there on track. Yeah. So Lanot is about to move up to 20th here in a couple laps, as long as he completes another couple laps. Looking a little further back, it looked like the Cowgills actually almost got together there on the front stretch. They were able to get that sorted out though, so no harm, no foul. And what a great time to go to this camera actually, because they're both right next to each other on track right now.
Oh man, I needed a button so that I could bring them both up at the same time, and I don't have that button made.
that would have been absolute cinema for this moment. You can see Patrick gets around Chris right there. Little inner sibling rivalry right there. Inner sibling rivalry going on in the race. Patrick not going to have the one up at the moment though. He's currently 4 laps down in 17th. Chris is looking for some cautions as he's in 16th, 1 lap down. He's trying to track down Quesabir, who took tires. So I think this is the difference in this Lucky Dog battle here, buddy. Jonathan Quesabir took tires, and that's why he fell back a lap down. So that's why he's driven off. Chris Calgill did not take tires on that caution.
Oh, yeah, that'll definitely make a difference. Especially with that caution, we were, what, 35 laps into it or so? 31, 32 laps, something like that, where that caution came out. So that's definitely a significant tire difference between the two cars. I see some dust off the wall, like someone scraped the wall a little bit. I don't know which car that was.
They're getting a little kooky. I think they got it all sorted out though. Back up front, Ken Redinger pulling away from Danny Sanchez. Looks like Danny's right front may be starting to overheat a little bit as he falls back into the clutches of Justin Parham. Parham has a lot of good speed here in the Xfinity car, O'Reilly B-Class car at Phoenix, and it looks like he's starting to show that long run speed that I've seen from him in the past here as he's working over Danny Sanchez for second. Cody Matthews not too far behind these two, actually. He's only a second and a half behind Parham, back there in 4th spot. So good run going for Cody. Started in the top 5, currently running in the top 5. Panzarella, good recovery, up to 5th after that first lap spin. Behind them, you see Matthew Fritz has worked his way up to 6th after starting back in 10th. Then you see Michael Mata is in 7th after he started 11th. Behind them, Tom Lester was pretty much at the tail end of the field, and he's currently worked his way into the top 10. Glenn Grigsby having another good, quiet run in 9th place, right in front of Zach Hillman, who's starting to recover from the damage. Looks like that car's pretty much fully repaired. Maybe some unfixable damage there on the left side of that car. He rounds out the top 10. Other cars on the lead lap. In 11th, you see Graham McGivern. In 12th place behind them, Matt Novella. He took the wave around, so he's on older tires and less fuel. 13th place, Jordan Finnegan. These guys are in a tight battle back here. And then Michael Wolf is still limping around, trooping that damage. He's in 14th, last car on the lead lap.
Looks like that splitter is a little bit more fixed, but it looks like it looks like that center of the splitter is just raised a little bit. So there's still a little bit of damage there on the front end.
The right rear looked a little messed up there too, as you see. You can see as he goes by. So that's probably the 2 worst places to have damage on the race car. On iRacing is the right rear and the literal front middle splitter area. Those are the 2 worst places for performance in terms of aero to have damage. So still got some work to do there for Wolf to get fully back up to pace.
Parham got the wall.
Yeah, Parham got around Danny Sanchez though too, and now they're backing up towards Cody Matthews. Matthews is starting to close in now, and we're about to have a 3-car battle for second as Ken Redinger is loving what he's seeing in his mirror. He's almost doubled his lead since the last time we checked in up here. So Parham gets around Sanchez, and now they're struggling. And now you got Cody Matthews joining the fray, saying, hey, I want a piece of this and get my way up to second.
Yeah, we're coming into 5 to go here until the stage. There is not a stage caution or anything for this, so if these guys can race it out, then it'll just be capture them some stage points up to 10th position with there being over 20 drivers tonight. And hopefully last week we kind of had a caution throw off the timing of the stage.
Literally at the end of the stage. Literally at the end of it.
Cody Matthews
All right,
working
here we
to the
go.
other side of Sanchez. Yep. Sanchez is going to be able to have the momentum on the outside, though. See if Matthews is able to... No, Sanchez gets that advantage staying up on the track. Has a little bit more speed going into 1. Outside, ripping a little bit of momentum. Matthews got a little bit tight. Had to come off of it or get into the door of Sanchez. So this is a good side-by-side battle for 3rd place here, but the only thing this is doing these guys racing side by side, they're going to be slower than Parham and Redinger, two teammates running 1 and 2 right now.
I am very interested watching every time we go through the dogleg that taking the dogleg cut and going down towards that inside wall actually is the slower way, it seems like today. There's a lot more momentum by staying up on the actual pavement of the track. And you can see that there when Sanchez cleared back on Cody Matthews. It looks like Sanchez got loose out of 4, so now Cody got another run at him. Doesn't look like he's going to get anything here, but Danny looks like he may be struggling with those rears just a little bit now out of 4. So we'll see if he's able to hold on. We're coming to the white flag of the stage here as Michael Wolf goes a lap down. Ken Redinger going to take the white flag for the stage right here, right now. So 1 lap to go in the stage. You got Justin Parham running in second. Looks like Sanchez is able to hold on to third, but they're side by side for that 3rd place battle right now. We'll see which one's able to get it done. You see Steve Lewis pulls off the track, and Ken Redinger going down the backstretch right now for the last time in the stage.
Dang it, Joe. I forgot to have my thing turned on, so it's not going to work.
Well,
wah, wah.
Ken Redinger wins the stage over Justin Parham in second. Danny Sanchez is going to get third over Cody Matthews. 5th place will go to Zach Panzarella. 6th, Matthew Fritz. Michael Mata, Tom Lester, Glenn Grigsby, and Zach Hillman will round out your top 10. We got contact, the 33 and the 56. McGivern's losing it. Ew, and the 988's in the wall. No caution, though. Everybody stays straight. But it looked like netcode between Novella and McGivern almost created a big wreck, and it threw Lynott into the wall. I think Kyle's going to have a lot of damage again for the 2nd time tonight. See him coming into the pits.
Oh, yeah, he's flying in the pits, it looks like.
Oh, yeah, look at the right front. You can see the right front is toast on the number 988 Ford of Kyle Lynott. I think that's curtains.
Yeah, that's unfortunate coming off of a win last week. Kind of talked about post-race during his interview about how he was pretty comfortable with Phoenix, and it's just, that's NASCAR, or that's racing in general for you. Like, you can't, it sucks to be involved in stuff that you don't have control over, and that be what takes you out. And a lot of the stuff that these guys are dealing with, that have been dealing with week after week so far this season, is netcode. None of these guys have any control over that whatsoever.
Yeah, netcode has just been such a wild card in everything that went on that actually created that incident right there between McGivern and Novella. They got too close, and the netcode took over, almost spun out McGivern. He did a good job saving his car. It looks like he's about to go a lap down, though, unfortunately, after losing time from that incident. And it looks like it took Kyle Lynott completely out of the race this time as well. Yeah, you can see Kyle out of the race now officially. Looks like he's going to finish in 20th here tonight. So tough break for Lynott coming off his race win last week. Tough break now for McGivern as he goes a lap down and is going to be battling with Jordan Finnegan for that lucky dog. Got Novella, who's a couple seconds up the road. He lost some time from that incident as well. He's in 11th currently, only about 3 seconds in front of the leader. You can see on through the field. This field's really starting to get spread out here, buddy. Lots of different intervals between most of these drivers at this point.
Yeah, I think looking here at the closest people might be Mata and Panzarella, and they're separated by almost a half of a second.
You got Fritz right behind them there as well.
Yeah, Finnegan and McGivern, they're separated by 20 or 2/10 or so. So this field's definitely getting spread out. Netcode is causing a whole lot of attrition week after week because we know these guys can race door to door with each other. We've seen it in other series, and it's just unfortunate that netcode has been the cause of a lot of the problems that we've seen last week, the first week at Daytona, and now this week at Phoenix.
Yeah, we did touch on that coming into tonight as well. And we touched on it a lot last week as well, just how much the netcodes really had to affect the way these guys are driving each other. And it really hurts. So when we come to a short track like this, you can see here the battle for the lucky dog. Finnegan and McGivern trying probably not to get too close to each other, just to not invoke any sort of netcode. So it really changes the way you got to drive. You can see Novella is still trying to keep his pace up and stay on the lead lap.
He's just barely holding on to that, staying on the tail end of the lead lap with Redinger right there lurking.
Yeah, he got him by about looks like about 6/10 that last lap. So right now Novella's got to pick up the pace just a little bit. Remember, Novella on older tires. His tires are from the start of the race, I believe. He took the wave around to get back on the lead lap. So 70 lap old tires for Novella. His pit stop's got to be coming up here soon, as well as everybody else's, to make it to the end of the race. We'll wait and see what everybody's strategy is. Looks like you got that battle heating up, though, between Panzarella and Mata. Those two right now battling hard for 5th. As you can see, Mata trying to get him on the outside.
Oh, Mata a little bit loose. Panzarella comes off a little bit to not run him over. We've seen cars kind of get tight and push up into the wall, but some of these guys, like we just watched Mata get loose there on the exit. So it's kind of a combination of what these guys are fighting with the car. I think some people are tight, some people are loose, and I think it just comes down to how you're driving, right? Like if you're driving super aggressive on entry, you're going to burn off the right front. You're going to create yourself a situation in 10 or 20 laps where you have a super tight car. Maybe you're not driving as aggressive on entry, but you're really trying to put the power down on exit. That's going to wear out your rears, and that's going to cause you to have a loose car on exit. So depending on your style of driving, you kind of dig yourself a hole to how the car's handling later in a run, whether you have a tight car or a loose car. It just depends on which part of that corner that you're super aggressive with. And the super fast guys balance it out, like Redinger here, where you're just even across the whole or the whole corner or whatever. You just kind of run your race. He has a 6-second lead over Parham right now.
See, Matt Novella's in the pits right now there, buddy. Looks like his run has gone as far as he could. He's going to pit here with 46 to go. So we'll have to keep an eye and see what he's able to do on fresh tires compared to everybody else. Looking through the field, everybody's about 2 seconds off their fastest laps right now. See, Justin Parham ran a 28.6 that last time by. So right now, guys about 2 seconds off quali times. So, I mean, if Novella can get in and out of there pretty fast, he may be able to work his way back up through the field. And this may prompt other drivers to come pit, depending on... So let's see, he comes out of the pits, and he's being scored. Looks like 2 down.
Yeah.
So he pretty much only lost 1 lap pitting right there. So if I'm somebody like Parham, Matthews, if I come down and pit, and I know I'm only going to lose maybe 35, 40 seconds to the leader, if I make up 2 seconds a lap, then, oh boy. Oh boy, it's well worth coming for tires. We'll have to wait and see, though. Based on the field that caution!
Oh, no,
Caution's
caution.
out. We got Glenn Grigsby in the inside wall. It looks like in turn number 3, trouble down there.
Glenn Grigsby. I can never find these names. Oh, there he is.
Oh, no, maybe it was somebody else. It may have been
Zach Hillman is showing wrecked here.
Yeah, it was Zach Hillman. Zach Hillman is the car that was loose. It looks like down in the inside wall in turn 3. Not sure what happened there.
Just play this full speed. Oh, just got loose on. Oh, hold hold on to it, do a 360, lock it down, go straight, or just drive in reverse, and he doesn't hit the wall. Excellent save. So no damage for that caution, it doesn't look like, but some worn out tires. So looking at chat in the old YouTubes, Joe, as we go back live here, and everyone's coming down pit road. We have Kevin Kyle. Sometimes you tight and sometimes you loose. Hey, now buy me a drink first. And we have, it looks like we have someone sitting in the waiting room of our chat if you're up for an in-race interview. I don't know who it is.
Where is our... It looks like Patrick Calgill's in the broadcast waiting room. Remember, he had some issues early in the race. Currently being scored 19 laps down in the 18th position. Let's see what his car looks like. I don't think it's looking so good. Oh, no.
Is he wanting an in-race interview here?
Oh, no. I don't know. I mean, we'll do it live. Let's pull him up
do
there
it on cam too. Yeah. Try all the bells and whistles since my stages didn't work.
Hey, Patrick, how you doing?
Doing all right.
Well, I can tell you that our cameras have been a success here for tonight. It doesn't look like it's been the same on the track. Had trouble immediately at the start of the race there. Got loose. Looked like trying to hold on to the lead as the caution came out. How did that just transpire? Was it just some sort of thing, pull tires, or something with running a different line, or something like that, or just something with the car?
I heard Zach screaming about somebody getting loose or something, and I thought the caution was gonna come out, so I throttled down to try to get ahead of Redinger before the caution came out so I could get the lead. And I apparently gave it too much throttle and got loose, and it went into a fishtail, and I couldn't save it before I ended up catching Parham's nose.
Yeah, that was definitely a tough break. It looked like he had a lot of speed here tonight as they get ready to go back racing out on the track. So we talked to you and watched at the same time. Ken Redinger has been really fast here all night. Did you feel like you may have had something for him on a long run? Because it looks like guys have been really struggling to race with him on a long run.
Yeah,
I modded to the inside.
I feel like I would have had a long run.
I'm sure you're watching the action with us here.
Gosh,
as you can see, everybody's going chaos mode again. And there's the netcode, and Justin Parham is around, and nobody's gonna hit him. So good job by everybody right there. That brings me to my next question, Patrick. As we saw, what caused that caution was netcode. Have you seen a lot of trouble? It looks like the trouble with the netcode's kind of happened again. How have you guys been able to really navigate it this week? Is it getting any sort of better navigating, or does it just feel like is what it is?
I think the difference this week is the setup. It feels a little I know it looks like it's bad because of how everybody's getting loose and stuff, but it is much easier to control this week, so it's easier to stay away from people a little bit farther than we have been the last 2 weeks. I think that's a big contributor to having less netcode this week. It's still there. If you get close enough to somebody, it's gonna bump them, but I just think it's the control of the cars a little better this week.
Yeah, we've seen these guys been able to race pretty good side by side. It just that little stuff it just happened again right there. Unfortunate right there with Parham running up there towards the front. Patrick, my next question for you is how do I sound to you? Do I sound good on this new microphone? Do I sound different? Does this sound good?
I honestly sound about the same.
That's wonderful. That makes me feel so good that I'm on.
It does sound better on the broadcast, though. I was listening to the broadcast before you pulled me in here.
That's good. That's good, because I've noticed that some of my enunciations don't come across very good on my other mic on the broadcast. So I'm hoping this makes it a little bit better here. My last question before we let you go. Chris Cowgill currently being scored 2 laps down. Obviously, in the sibling rivalry, you're not going to win the battle this week. But do you think Chris is going to have the chance to get back on this lead lap and get a top 10 out of it?
He might be able to. He doesn't have a long run pace, I don't think. But if we get a bunch of cautions, he should be able to, because he's got good short run pace.
All right, Patrick, we appreciate you hopping up in the booth with us here. Great to get the cameras up and rolling with you boys this week as well. Hope to have that a lot more with some more drivers going forward.
Yep, thank you guys very much.
Man, we love Patrick Cowgill and all the work he's been putting in with you there, buddy, on this stuff. It's so great to have those cameras. Great to see Chris still out there running 16 2 laps down. We get ready to go back racing here. Ken Renninger going to control another restart here, and he's going to get away very good once again. Michael Amata on his outside, a little bit of damage to his car. Going to have competition from Cody Matthews to his inside. They're going to go side by side into turn number 1. Mata going to send it down into turn number 1. Got to be careful. Don't get too high. He's going to get it to Diamond down the track. Sounds like contact a little further back between Novella and Louie. Very interesting to hear those two get together on the racetrack. As Tom Lester misses turn 3 and hits the wall. Look out. Everybody able to skate by.
Man.
But Tom may have messed up that right front just a little bit right there with that contact. They're 3 wide further back in the field. It's happening everywhere out here right now in this restart.
Oh, yeah, this is not going to end good. Where was that? Oh, someone's loose.
Seeing
Someone's
smoke
way
everywhere.
off pace. Is that Case of Beer? I think it was Case of Beer.
Contact between Lester and Parham. Parham got into the left rear of, Lester got into the left rear of Parham, and it looked like he may have missed the corner again. Not sure what happened there, but everybody able to keep going straight. Almost a wreck. Pretty interesting to see how there was actual contact there, right front to left rear, and it didn't cause a caution compared to some of the netcode stuff that we've seen tonight. So good to see you can get physical as long as the netcode doesn't come and grab you.
Yeah, on that, not this last restart, but the restart before that, where you're talking to Patrick, and we kind of missed the restart because I was watching Patrick's camera and everything, making sure everything was going all right. You missed some crazy moves by Mata, dipping it down 3 wide, being super aggressive on that restart. No problems happened. He is currently running in second, so he was a benefactor in that. All the crazy moves that he was able to pull there on that restart. So Danny Sanchez still working right on his back bumper, though. A lot of these guys
notorious for a lot of aggressive moves there, buddy, as you know. And you can see Danny trying to get back to him. You can see all those other guys trying to get back to each other as well. A little further back, Glenn Grigsby, Graham McGivern side by side again for 9th. Right now, Glenn going up the inside of the 33 there. Going to cut that apron, that dog leg down into turn number 1 and going to clear him with ease right there. That seemed like the first time I've seen somebody able to make that pass look very easy on the inside.
I don't know. I don't know if McGivern just wasn't as aggressive there on the outside up on the racing surface or whatever, but that is the first time that we've kind of seen that dogleg work. Maybe some of these guys are going too far into the dogleg, and that's where the issue is, getting the car super unstable down there really low where that transition is really rough. Maybe that's causing a little bit of unstableness where people are losing
a little
time.
further back in the field. Christopher Calgill got loose. He's going to drop a few positions there. Not going to give up any positions on track, but just going to lose track position, essentially, right there. You can see the 20 car is still limping around on the lead lap somehow with all that damage. Still right rear and front end damage to the 20. You see Novella right in front of him. He's currently being scored in 15th, 1 lap down. If there was a caution right now, your lucky dog would be Zach Hillman. He's currently in 12th. Jordan Finnegan's trying to chase him down for that lucky dog spot. Back up towards the front, Mata and Sanchez side by side again. They're getting really close with each other. but Mata using the outside, trying to get momentum. Here we go. Sanchez gets a good run on the inside behind them, side by side. Also for fourth, you can see it looks like, oh, they're getting really close to each other, almost contact. Everybody able to keep it straight. Mata able to use the run around the outside again, gonna keep that second spot over Danny Sanchez.
That was the second time that we've seen that cut in the dog leg work. Not really going super aggressive into the dog leg as Sanchez catches the wall a little bit, which is going to back him up. Into Matthews.
Looked like Parham caught the wall behind him as well as he's trying to catch back up to this group.
Fritz looking to the inside of Matthews.
This is what I'm concerned with is some of these guys, you know, when they start getting side by side here, is everybody going to realize, you know, where everybody's running on the track? Got to keep that in mind here as well. Haven't seen any signals crossed with that. Sanchez back up the inside of Mata, gets tight again, and it's going to open up the door for the 10. They almost make contact, and now it's 5 cars under a blanket for second place.
In a situation where we've seen issues with netcode time and time again the last couple of weeks. Now, all the side-by-side races brought up even more people. You got Fritz in the mix, Parham in the mix, Panzarella right there, and tail end of this group.
Cody Matthews tried the bump and run, and instead he bumped and ran himself, got loose. Netcode contact. Around goes Matthews, and he's going to take Parham with him, and they both wreck hard into the outside wall.
Oh, the 20.
Oh, Michael Wolf, it sounds like there was some contact with somebody as well.
All right.
I heard Michael Wolf key up there. Sounds like maybe somebody got into him slowing up for the wreck. We'll have to go see what happened there.
Yeah, we'll go back here and see. This is going to be netcode again. Just right off the wall. Kind of bounces off the wall. Everyone holds on to it, but netcode just says, no, I'm estimating that we're already hitting, so you're going to spin whether we're touching or not. At the same time this is happening, I think this is where we're going to see Michael Wolf's issue.
Oh, no.
Here.
Oh, no.
Oh
no. No, don't tell me. Don't do it.
No,
don't do it, please. Please spare me. No, don't do it.
Oh, no.
Oh, he did it. He did it.
So Kevin asked a question. I'm going to go back to the first wreck that was Parham. And Kevin asked a question in chat, and he said, is it really netcode? So we're going to go to Par Chase here, and we're going to show him how it's really, really netcode. Because we've seen this. And
I mean, to be fair, though, this was going to be inevitable with the angle that Matthews was taking. And this was what I was concerned with here, buddy, was with the guys that are cutting the dog leg, not cutting the dog leg, is I felt like we were inevitably going to end up in a situation where guys got their signals crossed and something like this happened. So while the initial contact as, well, I mean, that might be netcode, but this is also probably inevitable to be fair, too. Steve Lewis.
Nah, I don't have good controls here. But yeah, we've seen a whole lot of issues with netcode in this.
Yeah, I mean, in that case, though, I think based on the trajectory of the cars, the contact was going to happen whether or not the netcode started it or not in that case.
And that's what netcode is, right? It's iRacing kind of trying to estimate or simulate without actually showing anything when two things collide. So some things are more sensitive than others, or they have bigger hitboxes. So that simulation of the in programming language, we call that replication. That way everyone sees the same thing. So you kind of have to estimate that. As Michael Mata on the inside for this restart here.
Mata stayed out there, so he's on older tires. He's going to get away here. Going to have 20 laps remaining in the race here. Great restart from him. Ken Redinger came down for tires, I believe, right there. So he's up on the outside. Oh, my goodness, almost on the wall. Going to try and cut down now across Fritz. He's going to get there. That was scary. Looks like Mata got away, though, from everybody. Now you got Danny Sanchez in second. Ken Redinger is now in third, and it is just... they're all over the place behind him, trying to find ways to make moves. Here we go. Ken Redinger up the inside of the 62 of Sanchez for second into turn number 1. Gonna have to send it in there deep and do a slide job if he wants to get it done. Move done by the 442 of Redinger, and following in his tracks is Matthew Fritz. For a second straight week, Matthew Fritz was just hanging around in the top 5. This thing's coming down to the end of it. And he said, it's time to sit up in my chair and time to get serious.
Yeah, Matthew Fritz, super strong showing last week. I believe he, what was it, 3rd place, if I'm remembering correctly? Maybe his second place.
It pretty much the same story that we saw from him last week.
Michael Mata got the wall. Brought Redinger and Fritz both up to him. I think Fritz got a little bit of the wall. Redinger to the inside of... Oh, no. No. Let's not do that. I don't think Mata's going to have a lot to hold on here with unless these two turn into a door banging fest, which I don't think is going to end up happening. Yeah, Mata's doesn't have a lot of tire to fight with right here. So Ken going to get clear. It's going to be dependent on if Fritz clears him quick or not, and he does. Matthew Fritz, I think, may have a short run car here. We got 16 laps left, and right now Fritz has been able to follow Redinger right to the front. We haven't really seen Fritz push the car to this amount yet. Here comes Zach Panzarella, too. It looks like he's got good speed on freshies, trying to get to the inside of Mata and get his way into this battle as well. He's been hanging around that top 5. This is the time in the race last season where Zach was able to get it done to win the race. Moves his way up to 3rd right here, and right now it's pretty much a carbon copy almost the last season. It was Redinger and Calgill that were battling hard for the lead between each other. Zach was in 3rd. Leaders both get into each other. Zach takes control of the race late, goes on to win. There's
right
a
now
gaggle of cars here, about 4th place on that.
Right now, there's a very tight battle for 6th, it looks like. Zach Hillman going up the inside of Sanchez. They almost make contact right there. Graham McGivern watching patiently behind them, as now Graham's going to go to the inside. Gets loose, though. Not going to be able to get a move done. And going to have to slot back in behind Danny. You can see it looks like Tom Lester getting to the outside of Mata further on up for 4th. Little contact right there. And... gonna be momentum to the 91 of Mata there, actually. So maybe that little touch right there really slowed up the 06, but not gonna have much to say about this move around the outside. Too much momentum, and away goes Lester into 4th. And now you got Zach Hillman up the rear bumper of Mata for 5th.
Oh,
he's gonna bump and run him. Be careful with that kind of move right there.
Lester got the wall, too, right in front of him.
That was absolute chaos right there. Mata's not going to have a lot of tire to fight with here right now. But, Zach's going to hit the wall, and now he's going to bring Mata back to him. I wouldn't want him to get close to me again. And there's almost contact, but Sanchez goes up the track. That may have been netcode contact. It didn't look like they made contact on the track there, but... the way the 62 acted seemed like there was contact between McGivern and Sanchez right there. So that battle continues on. Back up front, though, Matthew Fritz is staying glued to the back bumper of Redinger, coming to 10 to go. So right now, this is the closest we've seen anybody to Ken Redinger this far into a run. It seems like Matthew Fritz has figured it out here late on how to challenge Ken Redinger.
Yeah, Fritz using that super high line in 1 and 2. Looks like he's using that to his advantage, being able to get pulled a little bit down the backstretch. Redinger is just so strong with the clean air. Panzarella about almost 2 seconds behind Fritz. So the battle right here is between teammates and Redinger and Fritz.
Matthew Fritz would love to get a win right here. He's done a great job working his way through, kept his car 2 weeks in a row where he's just done a great job of hanging around that top 5, staying out of trouble, doing what he has to do on long runs, and now he's in that position to really make a move late. 8 to go. He's going to need to probably rely on Ken making some sort of a mistake here, though, as it looks like it's really difficult to set up that pass for the lead. Clean air versus dirty air is a huge difference, it seems like.
I think that might be why Fritz is running so high. Even with Redinger and Fritz, though, they're steadily pulling away from Panzarella a little bit. A little over 2 second gap between Panzarella and Fritz currently. Looks like Zach Hillman was able to battle for the 4th position between Hillman and Lester.
Yep. Now he's got it.
I saw them trading back and forth on the timing here as Hillman a little bit loose on the exit there.
Currently 10 cars being scored on the lead lap. If there was another caution, Jordan Finnegan currently sitting in the lucky dog spot in 11th. Back up front, it's still that battle going on. Looks like Ken able to pull a little bit away from Fritz right there. 6 to go in the race. Right now,
loose.
Yeah, Fritz has got to try and figure something out a little bit different than what Ken's doing. Maybe move up down here in 3 and 4 because it was working for him in 1 and 2, running that high line alternative to Ken's low line. But it looks like just sitting in that dirty air in 3 and 4 is starting to come back to haunt the driver of the 67.
I think clean air is, you really got to search around and hunt around for clean air if you're Fritz. We all have it saying that you can't win a race by following what the leader's doing, so you definitely don't want to follow in their line. But at the same time, like, we got 4 to go. I'm sure Fritz is driving his heart out, which is why we're seeing him get loose on the exit and everything, just trying to get everything he can out of the car. But Redinger, sitting in the lead, has that benefit of just perfectly clean air out in front of him.
Yeah, starting to pull a gap here with 3 to go, up to 0.8 of a second at the end of that lap. So Fritz starting to fall off here. Ken doing what he does, though, that he's been doing. Once we get into those teens and those lap runs, that's when he starts pulling away. Ken doing it once again right here. Coming around to 2 to go this time. Still a lot of chaos going on around the track right now. Looks like Graham McGivern holding on to 7th. He's got the lap car, Jonathan Casabier, behind him. And then 8th place, Danny Sanchez behind them. A little further up, you can see that battle for 4th going on. It looks like Hillman's starting to get away from Lester. Then you got Mata. Looks like he's pretty safe in 6th right now. As everybody coming around into turn 3. Here we go. We're going to come to the white flag this time, buddy. I don't think we're going to have a caution. This is going to be official right here. Last lap. Ken Redinger is 1 lap away from win number 2 in 3 races to start the season. You got the pole here tonight. Pole number 2 on the season here tonight. Going for race win number 2. Coming around turns 1 and 2 for the final time. Down the backstretch. Got a 1 second lead over Fritz. Just got to manage 3 and 4 one last time. Ken Redinger comes around. Hugs that yellow line through 3 and 4, and out of the corner comes Ken Redinger to win number 2 on the season over Matthew Fritz in 2nd, Zach Panzarella in 3rd. What a performance from Ken Redinger tonight, buddy. Wow. Just
Starting up right where he left off last season in the truck. Same series, different vehicle. Redinger's just so consistent, especially whenever he gets out front. He knows how to win races, obviously, and he knows how to find himself on the pole at a lot of these tracks. So super impressive stuff from Redinger and Fritz as well. 2 podiums, 2 races in a row. Tonight he picks up second. And then Zach Panzarella rounded out our top 3, like you were talking about as they finished. But
So, Buddy,
oh,
there were
yeah.
3 different people that led in tonight's race. There were Ken Redinger, Michael Mata, and Glenn Grigsby. You want to take a guess how many of those laps was led by your race winner tonight? Those 120?
I would say over 95%. And you know what else I'll say? This is going to boost him so far in the point standing because he also won the stage, I do believe.
Yeah, this was a clean sweep. And it looks like on the results, him and Glenn Grigsby were the only 2 to get a 0x tonight as well. So, yeah, Ken doing everything to stack the points tonight. Pole race win, led 113 of 120. 0x. I mean, this has got to be as close to a flawless performance as we're going to see this season. Ken Redinger gets it done. Matthew Fritz, great performance there in the end to get second place. Made it a challenge there for Redinger on the last run, just not able to have enough to get him in the end. Zach Panzarella able to recover to a 3rd place there in the end. Great performance from him to get on the podium in his first race of the season. Behind them, Zach Hillman going to finish in 4th after starting 21st. And him and Tom Lester, the guy who finished right behind him in 5th, are going to be your 2 big movers of the night, both up 17 spots from their starting spots. Behind them, Michael Mata going to finish in P6 here tonight. Good top 10 run from the driver of the 91. I'm sure he wished he put on that last set of tires, though, and gave them a shot for the race win there in the end. Graham McGivern, great performance from him here tonight, able to hold on to a top 10, finish in P7. Fastest lap of the race tonight went to your driver in P8. That was Danny Sanchez. Just ran out of tires, I believe, in his case as well. Behind them, Glenn Grigsby, good performance, led 2 laps, finishes in P9 here tonight after starting 20th. Rounding out the top 10 is the guy that was the little engine that could here, if you really think about it tonight. Did everything possible to stay on the lead lap at every point in the race and finishes as the last car on the lead lap when it's all said and done in the top 10. 10th place goes to Michael Wolf in his debut. Jordan Finnegan going to be the first car a lap down in P11. Jonathan Casabier not able to get back on the lead lap after that lucky dog where he took tires and fell back a lap down. Got him trapped in 12th. Matt Novella finishes in 13th, 1 lap down as well. He ended up back there after the wave around and pitting under green flag, getting caught in that caution cycle. 14th place will go to Chris Cowgill. He wasn't able to get the cautions he needed to get back on the lead lap. He finishes in P14. And then the guys that had some serious trouble. Cody Matthews ends up in 15th after running up front for most of the race. Steve Lewis ends up in P16. We saw him body slam the inside wall early on in the race. 17th will go to Parham. Him and Matthews in that big wreck really lost out a lot after running in the top 5 most of the night. Dalton Geyer had a bunch of damage pretty much off the rip. He ends up in P18. You can see Patrick Cowgill. We talked to him earlier, ends up in 19th when it's all said and done. Last week's winner, Kyle Lynott, will finish in 20th. And then the guys that really had a rough time out of the race early, Jay Stinson, Brandon Lawless, and then Alex Hillman did not grid up, decided to pack it on home before the race started. And that's the way it went tonight for these drivers. So, Buddy, what a race.
Yeah, definitely a crazy race. It was unfortunate for guys like Cowgill started up front, had a little bit of early problems. Unfortunately got hit while trying to get himself turned around. I think that gave him a majority of the damage and just wasn't able to overcome it. I wish the netco wasn't so bad, Joe. But I do have the updated points here, and we're going to see a flip and some stuff.
All right, let's take a gander at that real quick before we pull our boys in for the interviews. And oh my, that's 3 times the points lead for Ken Redinger this week. Up to, what is that, 68 points? Am I reading that right?
Yeah, 68-point lead over.
And he's got, what is that? He's got a full 100 on the cut line already. So Ken looking very strong. Remember, no winning in the series, but 100 points in 3 races on the cut. That is excessively impressive.
Definitely. We saw those ties there at the cut line, and while it's not a tie anymore, they're only separated there by 1, 2, 3, 4 points maybe between all of them. So it's still, I mean, we're really early in the season still, but it's still a really close race, really tight race right there at that 12th position cut line.
See, Matthew Fritz was a big mover this week. We'll have a good chat with him about moving up to P2 in the points here as well. You could also see Grant McGivern, Zach Hillman, Cody Matthews all moving up a good amount. Steve Lewis falls out of that top 12. Dalton Geyer falls a little further back. And Patrick Calgill falls to the tail end of the top 10 here tonight as well. So a lot of moving going on up there in the top 10. But, Buddy, which way you want to go? You want to go 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3 tonight?
Let's go 3, 2, 1 again.
Let's go 3, 2, 1 again. All right, so we're gonna pull in our third place finisher first here tonight, and that is our boy Zach Panzarella, P3 tonight at Phoenix. Welcome to the booth.
Yeah, guys. I mean, wow. I mean, I really did want to talk to you guys at my season debut, so I'm quite honored. Hello.
Well, Zach, last season you were able to get the win late in that race, if you remember, at Phoenix in the trucks. And it kind of seemed like you may have been having some deja vu, maybe, because Ken Redinger was battling with somebody really hard coming down the stretch, and you're just sitting back behind him in third, just waiting for something to happen to be like, please let me have control of this race. So did you kind of feel the sense of like deja vu going on and hoping for maybe a little bit of chaos again, so it all fell into your favor?
Oh, yeah. The thought definitely entered my mind where I was like, am I about to steal another Phoenix win? But wasn't meant to be today. I mean, both of those, Redinger and Fritz, really clean drivers, and I believe teammates. So my hopes weren't too far up. I figured they'd race each other hard, but nothing crazy. But yeah, I was saving some tire just in case anything happened between those two, and I was able to either get to them or have something happen. That would have been wonderful. But yeah, I mean, I felt like for the most part, that was a top 5 car. It wasn't a race-winning car. I mean, first race in this season, so still trying to very much get a feel for these Gen 6 race cars. But yeah, I was just, honestly, part of me was also just very happy to be in third after all that calamity and after getting spun on lap 0. So yeah.
That was going to be my next question. That's kind of hard to get used to the car when you get spun out at the initial start of the race, and you got to kind of claw your way back. So I know you said you may have had a top, you were feeling like it was a top 5 car, but not really a race winning car. Do you feel like maybe if that didn't happen at the start of the race, that your mindset may have been a little bit different and maybe would have learned some more stuff in order to hang with Redinger a little bit better on those runs as the race went on?
Yeah, potentially, for sure. I mean, that did damage the car. I don't know how significantly. I had front end and left side. I was able to fix 12 seconds, and then I just had damage I had to live with for the rest of the race. So it was rough not knowing, I guess, the true capability of the race car and not knowing exactly what I was missing out there. So that was rough. And so I was really just trying to, give what it would, or take what it would give me, try to be patient in the long runs, figuring that I was probably going to fall off a little bit worse than the cars around me, given my damage. So yeah, it was really frustrating, but it's the nature of the beast this year. No fast repairs. So you got to protect these race cars. And I can't really say anything about what happened with me and Cody because I did the same thing to him and a handful of laps later. Just so hard getting into a few of these corners, and when that car slides on you, entering the corner, it's really, really hard to regather, and I'm sure that's what happened below me. But yeah, it was a tough, really, really tough way to start the race. I definitely dodged a bullet with it not being worse damage. It felt like it was going to be significantly worse, and I saw the cars around me with a lot worse damage. So I'll take what I can get there, but it would have been cool to know what this thing was fully capable of. But it was, I should just think about Lucky Stars that it was still drivable and still had some speed in it.
I feel like I'm about to steal Buddy's question because I'm almost certain this is what he's going to ask you. Dealing tonight with this is the first time you drove, in the series. It's been a long time since any of us have driven in the Gen 6 cars or seen what they can do before the series started up a couple weeks ago. And the netcode has been, unfortunately, like one of the top things that we've been talking about. So how was it dealing with the netcode in tonight's race? Were you thinking about is it going to happen to me? Is it going to be a situation I have to deal with? What kind of because this is your your first time in the car with us
Right.
this season. So this is your first-hand experience seeing what everybody else has been dealing with. So what was that like, especially starting at a short track with it?
Scary for sure, and I was just trying to give that extra space as much as I could, especially in the straightaways. I knew, or I could tell that's when it was happening. That side drafting a lot of the time was when it was going wrong. So it was, yeah, it was that much more scary when you were really close to a car, but it was also that much more frustrating when you were getting side drafted and just thinking like, why are we doing this? We don't know these cars well enough to be doing this. So there was a few times that happened in this race where I was very frustrated, not gonna lie, getting side drafted. But which I'm, by the way, I'm cool with. Just didn't want to get spun when the car was still 3 feet away from me. But yeah, it was. I think. I mean, I don't want to speak too soon because I do know Novella's wreck was a big netcode one. Who knows who else had to experience that? But it felt better than I had been seeing on the track today. Hopefully, it continues to get better here on the service. But yeah, it is always on the back of your mind. It definitely. I don't want to say detracts from the racing because it doesn't, but it is something that you need to keep on your mind. To me, it just wasn't worth it to push the side drafts, to push that really door-to-door racing because I just didn't have the trust in the car for us not to come together inexplicably. And netcode incidents, as we've seen a million times, are just so unpredictable with how the car is going to spin, get upset. So yeah, it was just trying to be careful with that. Hopefully, it continues to improve. I mean, the one thing that we were talking about, this isn't a legacy race car, so it should continue to get updates, should continue to get work done to it. I know a lot of us are putting in those tickets to iRacing, so hopefully it can continue to improve. I think the league itself did a wonderful job today being mindful of it, less cautions than we've had on, like you said, a short track. So I do want to tip my hat to the entire league for that. But yeah, it's a scary thing out there for sure, and it's probably not going to go away anytime very soon.
Give it over to Buddy. Hopefully, I didn't steal
Yeah.
any of your questions.
So you did steal my question almost word for word. You know me too well, Joe. But Zach, this
Yeah,
is the first time our roles are reversed.
I know. I like this.
So one thing that I noticed during your race is you more times than not elected not to take the dog leg. For the first time that me and Joe can think about is people taking the dog leg really didn't have as big of an advantage as we thought they would compared to people staying out on the um, actual racing service or not taking that dog leg. So was there anything strategic for you as to why you opted to do that, or do you just not like the dog leg?
I normally love it. I'm a big fan of it in the truck, in the ARCA car. I try not to use it. It's almost like the high line early in Auto Club or something like that. But today, oh man, I was on probably like a 15 lap run in practice and I tried it, and my goodness, it was like the most epic wreck of my life. It just completely snapped around on me. And so I was like, okay, don't want that to
Okay,
happen during
yeah.
the race. So a lot of it was fear of what would happen if I used it, but also the car was falling off such a cliff in terms of speed and turn ability after about 15 laps that, like you said, the advantage didn't seem massive. So I was like, it's not worth the extra tire wear. And I wasn't able to get as high as I wanted on the entrance of 1 and 2 using the dog leg. And that felt more important to me to be able to roll that corner, keep the momentum. So there's a lot of reasons why not to use it to me, and not enough to convince me to use it. Even though I was watching others use it, I was like, go ahead. I will likely see you in a few laps, or I'll see you hitting the wall. Props to no one for making the mistake in there because it
Uh,
was vicious.
so we saw quite a few single car incidents that luckily didn't bring out cautions or anything, but the dog leg definitely claimed some victims tonight.
Okay. Okay. Good to know. That's more of what I expected, to be honest.
Yeah. Uh, well, Joe, that's all I had because you stole my one and primary question that I had about the net code because I knew this was the first race that Zach had been here, so
Mhm.
I was kind of curious what he was seeing. But Joe asked that question for me.
Well, I'm sorry for stealing your question there, Buddy. But Zach, before I let you go, anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, first of all, you guys have been doing such a wonderful job all year, and it's been so cool to have it live. It's been so much fun to watch, and it's probably been the biggest source of FOMO I've been getting these past 2 weeks. So wonderful job to everyone on the VRN team, buddy. All your new features, all these new stats and everything. They're so cool in the race, and I'm loving it. So big hats off to you guys. You guys are doing incredible. Big shout out to everyone in this league. Just want to thank them all for showing up, getting these good numbers. 23 was a lot of fun here, and everyone's doing a great job. Really competitive group of racers and great guys. So shout out to everybody there. Team Daily Drivers Inc., Matt Novella, Dalton Geyer, Patrick Cago, McGivern, everyone on our team. I appreciate them all so much. We have such an awesome team this year, and hope to bring home another team championship for us. And then sponsors, league sponsor, Shameless Watch Collector. Check it out, youtube.com/@Shameless Watch Collector. If you're into watches, especially affordable ones, definitely check it out. And we'll also be giving away a few of those throughout this season. And then also Daily Drivers Inc. Check it out, dailydriversinc.com, another sponsor of mine and a big part of this team. But yeah, thank you all to who are watching at home, my friends, my family, my amazing wife, and again, you guys over at VRN. Love you guys.
That was your third place finisher, Zach Panzarella. Go get yourself a cold one and enjoy your night.
Yes, sir.
Great performance to start your season. So glad to have you up here. Look forward to seeing more of you.
Thank you guys so much. Talk to you soon.
Third place finisher, Zach Panzarella, right there. Right in front of him, we saw Matthew Fritz. Man, what a performance again from him. Let's get him up here in the booth. Matthew Fritz, you out there? You got a copy?
Oh, yes, sir.
Man, you had another great performance here tonight. It looked like pretty much a carbon copy of last week, where you were just battling with those guys around that 3rd to 5th range. And when the money was on the line, you gave yourself a great chance to battle with Ken there in the last 15 to 20 laps. Is there anything you really regret in those last few laps that maybe you could have done a little bit differently to maybe get a chance to get around Ken?
I had a minute 35 damage. We got it all fixed, and then they said they still couldn't fix all damage, so I was just happy to be second. The car drove way different. It was really tight after all the damage I got, but yeah, it was a crazy night. You know, me and Kenneth did some pit strategy. We took tires there, and a couple guys stayed out, and it worked out for once. I actually called a right pit strategy. That's a miracle. I hate it. I'm so bad at it. So, but yeah, just glad to get second. I was trying the high side, but it was just too loose.
Yeah, we did see you ripping the wall there for a few laps. So is that like, did it just get the rear tires a little too heated up, and that's kind of like when you started losing time to them? Or so that was like the first time we really saw somebody ripping the wall on 1 and 2. So I'm actually kind of curious to hear a little bit more about that and the difference it was up there compared to the bottom.
Yeah, I try stuff in practice all the time. I like the high side a lot. Yeah, it was working a little bit, but my problem was entering. Oh, this track's got me confused. I hate this. They all changed it. Going to the start finish on 3 and 4, I was missing the bottom by a lot, and Kenneth was just beating me bad through there. But yeah, the high side felt better because I went to the bottom and it was loose and then tight. It was all over the place, and the damage didn't help. But if you told me when I was backwards in the pile up on lap 7 or whatever lap it was, and you told me I get second, we called you a liar because I thought we were done for the night, but we got lucky.
Yeah, you're able to get it all fixed up there, get your way back into second, and you got a P2 out of the race, and now you're also second in the points. So you've made up a lot of spots in the points this week as well. So that's also really good. You've been really consistent the last couple of weeks. Looks like you're getting really close to getting that win here soon as well. You know, we're going to, where are we going next week? We're going to Auto Club next week, a track that is pretty chaotic with the draft and everything. But how are you fancying your chances going to Auto Club, where tire wear is probably going to be another key thing with that old surface?
I always love Auto Club, ripping the top, or you know, that's where I'd be. So is our whole team. You know, we finished 1-2 tonight, so that was good. But yeah, I like the tire wear Auto Club, so hopefully we can get a top 10. That's what I like to do. Just be consistent. I just got the road courses circle. If I could beat Patrick or Novella, that's where I thrive, is the road courses. So one of those 3, we got 3 on the schedule. So hopefully we get a win there.
I'm going to pass it over to Buddy and try and not steal any of his questions.
Well, congratulations on P2. Congratulations on 2 podiums in a row, actually, because you did get a podium last week at Vegas. Is there anything tonight that you felt was different about the netcode or the issues with the car that we saw at Vegas? I know both nights you kind of had a clean race and all that, but just from your perspective and what you could see, because I know you were one of the ones that kind of came up through the field. You're up 8 spots tonight to secure your second place. So I'm just a little bit curious on the issues that you guys are still dealing with on the track.
Yeah, actually went back and looked, and then there the one big pop up was netcode. It was a lot. It was like 3 feet. So,
Yeah.
and I think Justin had some. I'm trying to be careful with it, not trying to run everybody tight. I know the netcode's bad, so I'm trying my best to, you know, get my peers not to spin them out. It's in the back of my mind, but yeah, it's something we're dealing with, and we just get some guys just gotta be better, but sometimes you can't help it. You think it's not gonna happen, and just the car just spins out. So
We saw definitely a couple issues like that before where someone will be nose to tail or whatever, and just for whatever reason, it's like they get ran into in the rear and around goes the car. And definitely some unfortunate things, but yeah, Joe, I don't really have. It seems like it's a pretty steady consensus across everyone we ask about the same thing: is more patience and just realizing that issue is there, especially with some of the tracks that we have coming up.
Well, I can tell you that Matthew Fritz has been an example of having the right patience here the past couple weeks. Back to back second place finishes. Anybody you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
I gotta thank my mom, my dad, my grandmother for watching. Yeah, my mom's business on the car. Jay did a great job paint scheme, of course. And gotta thank you guys for broadcasting. I'm glad this is live. Y'all do a great job, and I appreciate it.
We appreciate having you up here. I'm telling you, we're gonna get you in here for one of these race winners this next couple of weeks. Auto Club, Sonoma's 2 weeks away, so I know you got that circled on your calendar. So we're looking forward to that first win on your season.
Appreciate it, guys.
That was Matthew Fritz, second place finisher 2 weeks in a row. Great performance again from him, so consistent once again. But the man that was the most consistent tonight was your race winner, and that's Kenneth Redinger. You got a copy.
Yeah, I got you.
Man, what a performance from you tonight. You got the pole. You won the stage. You led all but 7 laps. I mean, I'm looking at the stats from tonight. I mean, you pretty much killed it across the board. No incident points. You and Glenn Grigsby are the only 2 to do that. You pretty much maximized your night on the points. What a performance. I just want to hear about how your race went from your...
Yeah, but it started with getting the pole because I kind of, as a group, we kind of figured that there was going to be some chaos at the beginning because the way it was getting loose. And sure enough, that's what happened. It looked like Cowgirl was on the outside of me, got loose out of 2 there, and then a couple other guys were crashing. So it was just getting that pole and making sure you were up front away from all the chaos was a big key of it.
So we know you were in clean air for most of the night, but for those couple laps where, you were stuck in traffic, how much of a difference was it in the dirty air to the clean air that you felt leading the race?
It wasn't too big of a difference because those guys had, I think they had 10 laps on their tires when I got back to 4th there. It was just making sure I was doing the same thing, getting into the corner easy, not putting any heat or anger in those right rear tire, because it seemed like everybody was trying to get in too hard, and then it would just build loose and you'd be sliding in, especially in a one down there, it would just slide. But I knew through 3 and 4 they were struggling hard to get back into the gas, and they were missing the bottom on the older tires. So it was just a matter of time. Just keep doing what you need to do, your regular race pace, and then you would get by them pretty easily.
Yeah, so it definitely sounds like you were focused on the tire wear, and that showed in your race result tonight, because it seemed like we got to about 10 to 15 laps into every run, and that's when you really started pulling away from anybody that you were battling for the race lead. Is that where you really started noticing those tire issues starting to come into effect?
Yeah, it was. That was my whole mindset, was just I didn't care what. Every time I heard second place and it kept saying second place is just ran the fastest lap of the race, it was just like music to my ears, because I just knew they were burning their stuff up. I was just like, yeah, you can get within a couple tenths, but then in a couple laps here, I'm just gonna jet off. And sure enough, every time that would happen, I'd hear fastest lap of the race, and then 5 laps later, I'm pulling back away.
So we've seen you had great speed last week on 1.5 miles. You led the most laps. You did. Week 1 was just chaos. That's Daytona. So it is what it is there. And then, you led the most led pretty much all the laps tonight. Going into Auto Club next week, we just saw the Next Gens race there on Monday. So we see what kind of chaos can really happen there. How are you feeling about going to Auto Club, where the draft is going to be a little bit more crazy with these cars and going to have some tire wear issues, probably like tonight, and then add on that layer, the netcode thing?
Yeah, I think that's gonna be it's gonna be a little crazier there with the tires, and then trying to come up with a strategy on that because I think you're gonna want to set late. You're probably gonna have a caution late, and you're gonna want a set of tires. And I think if you have a set of tires, especially there, you're gonna fly through the field if the others don't. So it's just gonna be about making sure you plan those out and see how the race starts if it's a chaos at the beginning. But yeah, that track's always tight racing, so we'll see, especially with the net code, if that causes any more cautions than normal.
Give it over to Buddy. Hopefully, I didn't steal your questions
Nope.
again.
You didn't. My one and only question, Ken,
Yep.
is you have basically a 100-point lead over the cut line. You have a 31-point lead over your teammate Matthew Fritz in second. Do you continue to just put the hammer down, or do you back off a little bit, knowing that you had that big of a cushion to play with?
No, I just show up every race and do the same thing. don't change my don't change
Right.
my pace or anything. Just do what's comfortable to me, and start taking
I
care of
think
the
that
tires.
I think that shows too with how consistent you are, regardless of the car in the series. Multiple different championships between ARCA, the trucks last season on the same night. Next gens on Mondays. You're just a super, super consistent driver, and that's not really a bad strategy to have, I don't think.
No, it's just that's how I play each weekend is just take care of my stuff, and then try not to make any enemies along the way, and
Right.
we're good every weekend, man.
Yeah, Joe, that's all
Frank?
I had. I just wanted to see if he was still going to just put the slaughter to everyone still, or
Yeah, 2 for 3 to start the season. Let's see. I want to see how many laps you've led so far. It's got to be, what is it, like 200? Yeah, 219. Man, you've been just on fire to start the season. And I think the most important stat of them all, and probably the most impressive, looking across the board, they're all impressive, but the most impressive one to me is you got 4 incident points in 3 races, and that is by far the best out of anybody in the series. So great job by you. 3 races in, 4 incident points, 2 wins, 2 stage wins, 2 poles, and a massive points lead. Ken, anybody want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
I just shout out to you guys for putting this together. This is turning out to be a fun car to drive, and shout out to you guys for broadcasting for us. It's fun to go back and watch these.
Yeah, I will say I'm pretty jealous that I'm not out there racing with you.
I do miss
This-
you out there. I was like, as I was
this-
telling, I was like Joe is like, we don't have Joe out here. It's fun to run with Joe, but
these cars are truly a lot of fun. So I'm glad
Yeah,
you
they
guys are enjoying them. Hopefully, fingers crossed, the netcode stuff keeps getting better and better as the season goes on. But Ken, man, what a great performance again from you. And man, I know you're looking forward to Auto Club next week. And I'm looking forward to most likely interviewing you another podium, hopefully from you next week.
hopefully.
All right, Ken, thank you very much. Ken Redinger, race winner. What a performance, man. That man is on a tear.
yeah.
He's got some great speed. It looks like he's really got down the tire saving when it comes to the cars, like the ARCA car. Buddy, a lot of people say that the ARCA car is it's just the Gen 6 with a shorter wheelbase and less power. And we see how good Ken is at saving tires and being consistent on long runs in the ARCA car. And I really feel like that might be carrying over here.
Yeah, I think so. Super fast guy, super consistent guy. And it's someone that whenever you see him in your rearview mirror, you're kind of worried. And whenever you see him out in front of you, you wonder how the heck is he doing what he's doing. That's the only thing that I can think of. Just absolute dominant of a tear between the championship last season the ARCA championship they came off of on Fridays before they started that series over. Super, super dominant performance across multiple seasons and multiple series.
But like I said, I mean, 4 incidents in 3 races. I mean, I know he's led most of the laps,
Yeah.
but like it's hard when you think about the 3 races we've done. Daytona,
Yeah.
that's always chaos. Then you go to Vegas, and we saw what happened there. And we saw him, he got buried a little bit there in the mid part of the race, too,
Yeah.
where he had to work his way back forward. And then tonight, a short track, almost got caught up with Calgill on the first lap of the race with all that. So, I mean, you can't say enough about not only is he dominating the races, but he's doing it in a manner where he's not making contact with anybody. It's just all down to his raw pace and then racing everybody with clean respect. And man, I mean, it's undeniable just how good he's been the first 3 races.
Yeah, definitely something to look forward to with some of these other tracks coming up with. I think you said it was Auto Club next week, right?
Yep.
And then after
Yeah,
that,
we're
we
going
go
to
to
Auto Club
Sonoma road course.
Yeah, that's I know Ken's really probably not looking forward to that one.
Let's see
Ken,
here. Let me grab the
Ken's,
schedule right fast.
Fritz is looking forward to that track.
Yeah.
He's very good at road courses along with a few others. I know that's usually Ken's weak spot. You know, he may be struggling a little bit around Sonoma. That is a bit of a tougher road course as well. I will say, buddy, I'm going to be jealous. I'm not out on the track for that one because
Right. Oh yeah, I love
went
Sonoma myself.
I went out there and I ran 2 laps on the setup to test it for him, and I was 2 seconds faster than Calgill on my second lap than he ever ran running that setup. So I'm a little jealous because Sonoma is. I can't believe that Sonoma's become the track that I've really gravitated towards being really fast at. So I'm really excited to see who's going to be that person to go out there and grab the reins there in a couple of weeks. But Auto Club next week, you know, we just saw a bunch of Next Gen Cup action.
Yeah.
Right on Sunday and Monday.
Monday was chaos.
Both on Vortex Racing Network. Sunday was chaos in a different way. The track was really hot. So if I take a peek, if we cheat and take a look at what the weather's set up to be like next week. And it's a night race. So that sounds like we're probably going to be in for the chaos that we saw on Monday.
Absolutely. And you know, that was super fun chaos. But
oh yeah. I'm excited for it. I know you're excited for it too, buddy. Next week is going to be absolute cinema once again for the series. And that gives us a chance to shout out everything else that's going on the channel as well. Good little segue right there. Monday nights, you know, we got that broadcast going on with the Monday Mayhem Cup Series. Great to see those boys get back going a couple weeks into that season over there. Great start to the season. Go check out the action. Mean Gene Money, Zach Panzarella. Tuesday night, Big Truckin' Tuesday. That broadcast will be up a little bit later tonight. So go check out Las Vegas a little bit later. Wednesday night, you just watched the SWC Moonlight Cup Series on Wednesday nights. Come join us next week at Auto Club. Tomorrow night, you got the Quantum Contender Series with Kevin Kyle and Kyle the Trash Man Lanat. Looking forward to seeing what those boys have in store in those next gen cup cars. And then rounding out the week on Sunday, you got Mean Gene Money, Smokin' Joe. On Fire Premier Cup action this week. They're going to be at Iowa on Sunday morning. So excited to see what's going to happen over there in the next gen action on a short track. And
you know,
man, whew.
I got one thing before we close out, Joe. You know what I think Lanat's bad luck was tonight?
Give it to me.
He didn't text us under caution like he did last week.
Oh, he put you see, this is why you don't listen to me. This is why he should have just held on to the phone and he would have been fine. Please, nobody take that as serious advice. Don't take that as serious advice out there, people.
Oh man.
Don't text and drive, kids. But
no,
yeah,
bad
man.
Stuff.
unfortunate that he had a tough night. Excited to see what he's got in store next week. Was very good at Auto Club in the next gens. And a lot of other guys looking to bring the fight to Ken Renninger as the season continues to move on to Auto Club next week. Buddy,
Yep.
Are you ready to go back to the West Coast again and go to California?
Absolutely. We're going to go to the Western Coast this time, though. We're kind of at the halfway point. Well, about the 3/4 of the waypoint, I think, here in Phoenix. So it'll be fun to go all the way to the West Coast in the area of Zach Panzarella and Kevin Kyle.
Well, I know we had fun here tonight in the desert of Arizona at Phoenix. And we're hoping you guys come join us next week when we go all the way out to the West Coast onto the shores of California at Auto Club Speedway. For myself, Smokin' Joe, and Buddy the Professor, thanks for joining us tonight, and we'll see you next week at Auto Club.